Good luck, Chris. Welcome back, everyone. This week we're at the Gullymor XC, and oh god, that was a terrible start. I was trying to just rev the bike, and I wasn't ready for the start, so immediately I'm near the end of the pack, but no big deal. This is my best effort yet. I am so happy with how this race went. I'm really satisfied. This race has been historically pretty difficult for me. It's so fast paced. I'm not used to MX, so I'm not hugely surprised. I'm doing pretty bad right now. You don't need to see me like wobble around the fucking MX side. I came 10th out of 20th in class and 33rd out of 98 overall. And I'm pretty sure in the years past, like my first year, I was nearly last. I was terrible at this race. I couldn't maintain the speed. I didn't know what I was doing. And then last year, I think I came about midway in the overall standings, and I don't remember where I came in class, and I can't be bothered to look it up. But I know for a fact that I've never come in the top third before, so I'm super happy. That really hurt. I slammed my chest into my bars. This bit was like a little bit clayey, and there was such a weird race. I thought it was going to be really dusty, but no, this year it was beautiful weather. In fact, there was a storm that happened later on for the afternoon class, and I feel bad for them, seeing how much their tyres dramatically slowed. But for me, I was for the morning race. It was, I would say, basically perfect conditions. I took that jump much quicker than I have ever done before as well, because I'm obviously with the guy next to me, so I felt confident following him. I'm not in second right now. I'm in like after the first lap, I was in, what was I? Actually, this was after the second lap. So what I'm going to show right now is basically just one full lap, my fastest lap, which was lap 3. After the second lap, I was in 12th in class and 25th overall, and I was very happy with how this race went. I was doing some pretty good times, fairly consistent, like 14:20, 14:11. This is my 14-minute 11th lap. 14:25, 14:30. 14:22, 14:18, 14:19, and then my last lap was 15 minutes. Now my last lap was 15 minutes because I thought, well, it's my last lap. And today, my wife, Lily, and my parent-in-laws, my mother and father-in-law, they all came to come watch the race, because my parents-in-law have never seen a motorcycle race before. And this is a good race for them to come spectate, because obviously there's an MX side, so they get to wander around and see people do like huge sends, and like the fast people like do really impressive stuff. And that always wows the crowd, and it definitely wowed them. They were super excited. They were like, "Whoa, I've never seen anything like it! Whoa, they're going so far! They're jumping so fast!" Wait, yeah, whatever. So I thought this was a great race to bring, albeit it's a long way to drive for them to get up early in the morning. But nevertheless, they had an absolutely great time, and they loved it. They were so excited seeing all the bikes jump, and then just watching the people in the afternoon for a little bit, their jaws just dropped, and they're like, "Oh my god, these people are so fast compared to you guys." And yeah, that's why they race a different race to us, because we're too slow to race against them. Dangerous, probably. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, this is I'm just going to show you this whole lap in its entirety. I was pretty happy with this lap, and this was really. I was very happy with it. Like, I feel like the practice of turning has come into play here, and it paid off on this slightly faster course. And also, I have basically what I would probably consider the most perfect tires for this type of race. I got the Starcross on for medium soft terrain, and it is these tires were absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure if a better rider had these tires, the rider would ride even faster. But like, my bike was as good as I could say, perfect condition. I just got it back from Langs. They've just put a new top end in it. The bike was running great. The clutch works again. Hooray! Apparently, what happened was the rod that goes through the clutch there's like a little dimple that wears in, and when they told me to measure it, I didn't know that the dimple wasn't supposed to be there. So I measured the total length and was like, oh, okay, well the total length is the exact length that they told me it needed to be, so I just assumed there was something wrong. Had I realized that the dimple was a clear indication of a large amount of wear, I would have realized, oh, okay, swap the rod. But hey, lesson learned now, and they fixed my drum, obviously, and did top end, check the pipe to see if it needed a repack. They blew out my pipe as well, check the exhaust muffler to see if it needed a repack. It didn't, which I'm a bit surprised, because like you go online and people are like, oh yes, you need to change the fucking exhaust every like 10 minutes or something like that, or something stupid. And I was like, well, I'm at like what, closing up 140 something hours, because obviously the speedo doesn't count every single hour when it's bloody not working. So I was like, oh well, that's like 2.5 years. Go on then, it probably needs a repack. It didn't, so okay, well, whatever. They checked it, and it saved me the hassle of trying to learn how to unrivet and re-rivet the bloody thing. And obviously they did my top end. So the bike basically is running in absolute pristine condition, and the tyres are pristine. And I felt really good doing this race. I couldn't ask for a better day. I'm so happy and super satisfied with how I rode. Yeah, so for about 3 laps of this race. Right in front of me now is what they called Fake Lewis, because if you look at his clothes, because my parents-in-law don't know what my bike is, so, and they probably immediately forgot that I don't ride a blue bike, I ride a red bike, but he's got white trousers and a blue top. So they saw that, and I have white trousers and a blue top. But the thing is, my teal-coloured blue top thing is only on one arm. One arm's white, one arm's blue. His is both arms blue, so apparently they took a bunch of photos of this fella in front of me, thinking it was me, and then after a while they realised, wait a second, there's a red bike. So, yeah, they stopped taking pictures of fake Lewis, started taking pictures of actual Lewis, which I thought was hilarious. But anyway, I was racing, I had an absolute great time racing a guy called Andre Gullymor. He's 5'87", and you'll see him later in this lap, I think. And he beat me at the end. And I don't know if he knew I was racing him, but I was on his ass the whole way. And obviously there was like some times where he'd slow down a little bit, and I could like really ride up behind him against him. I didn't want to like shout or beep him, because obviously he's in my class, and that's for a position, and I don't want to get like a cheap position off him like that. And then anyway, like other points, like if I did ever make it past, he would then get past me again, and we like back and forth for like quite a lot of laps until I think it was like lap, looking along the times, I think it was lap 6, where later in this bit you have like this downhill with an immediate hard right. Oh yeah, on the first lap about this. So my memory was that in years past, you go along that straight and you go right, and I really wanted to get by the person in front of me, so I was absolutely gunning it, and then I saw the little arrow, but I didn't see which way the little head of the arrow was pointing, so I started turning right, and as I was like half committed to the right, I then realised, oh, the thing's here, and I went through it, and I'm really sorry to the race organisers, my bad, I didn't mean to blow that line out. I didn't blow the second line out coming back in, I'm sorry though. Anyway, yeah, so racing Andre, yeah, we were heading on that little downhill bit to the right, and this, on lap 6, I think he just pulled the front brakes on a little too hard and found out his brakes worked really well, and he did a fucking front flip somersault over the front of his bike. Stopped to see if he was alright, he was good, and then it took him the next 3 laps to get back on me, and he put in a blistering lap on his last lap, fastest lap he did, 13 minute 50. And as a result, he got past me on the last lap. And I did a couple of bad mistakes on my last lap, because obviously, like, I was going all the way back to the original story, and I got distracted from it. My parents-in-laws were there, and I was like, well, okay, it's the last lap. I'll go a little faster over the jumps to see if I can do it. One of the jumps is, like, it's quite a steep send, and I was like, if I go just fast, I feel like each lap I'm kind of almost there to make the jump. If I go a little bit faster, maybe I'll make it. So I didn't go fast enough. And I went over this jump, and I came down so hard into the up part of the second bit, and my suspension bottomed out really hard, and I was tired, so I couldn't hold myself up, and I smashed my face into the bars, and I like was like, whoa, what's just happened there? I also knocked the GoPro off. I didn't even realize. That's how hard I hit my face. I knocked the GoPro off my helmet, and then you go down and around a corner, which I'm terrible at, and some fella like. Thank you very much to him. I saw him running over, so I immediately knew. I was like, ah, shit, I knocked my GoPro off. And he gave it back to me, pulled over, he clipped it back onto my face. So thank you very much to that fella who gave me my GoPro back, because that would have been a pain in the ass. So super big thanks to him. That was awesome. Anyway, yeah, so I lost a bit of time there. And then just coming out of the MX section, because I was like desperate to try and, get a little bit more time caught back up. I was fucking giving it a bit too many beans on the entrance to it. I panicked, hit the brakes a little too hard, and then just low-sided going in the corner. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. Which is dumb. And then I dropped the bike, which, you only lose a couple of seconds there, but I knew Andre was catching me. And I think that's where he passed me, because then when I picked the bike up, I was in like 4th gear or something. So as I went to go, I stalled the bike. I was like, oh, everything I could be doing wrong, I did wrong. A bunch of people went past me at that point, and that's where I think he got me. And then the bike wouldn't start for like 10 seconds, because I think the starter motor was still like in motion from the last time I started and stalled immediately. So it didn't immediately start, and then I was like winging back, change gear, and then push the start button, and the bike started. But at that point, with him setting a 13-minute 50, I wasn't catching him, because my fastest lap was a 14:11, and yeah, I'm just not able to catch that kind of speed up. So I'm not. But nevertheless, no excuses. I was having an absolute blast. There he is. Andre's right in front of me right now. So you can see how I caught him a little bit. I think he knows, because as I catch him up, he goes a little faster, and I'm not able to just. There's no place that I can confidently overtake him, because he's got a. Well, he can go faster than me, as I've just been talking about. He pulls out a 13-minute lap. So, yeah. But it was, I had an absolute blast riding with this guy. So cheers, Andre, man. That was a real fucking good race. Don't know if you watch these videos, probably not, but whatever. I had a really good time. And the other people today here was Damien was here, and Vanessa came down, and she won her. I think she secured the cross country intermediate women's A. Champion position, so she's won the year. Congratulations to her. I didn't see where the twins came in the afternoon. Past Fake Lewis. Yeah, so anyways, what was I saying? So not many people came down, because the usual crew. Oh, Chris came as well, but unfortunately he got a bloody flat on his second lap. The guy needs to get a boost, because he's just had three rides and 3 flats in a row, which is outrageous. It must be like some spoke is broken, or actually no, he said he spun the rim this time, so his rim lock broke. I'm not entirely sure how, but man, you just gotta get rid of those tubes. Go to boost. It's easier. Oh yeah, and I was gonna say, so some of the other people that usually come racing, I think they're all preparing for the cord. Sean, Big Eye Motor came, and he won his class today as well. So congratulations to him. But yeah, I think most people are just preparing their minds and bodies and bikes for the cord, and that's why I feel like the Gullymor doesn't get such a good turnout, because this course is fantastic for. It's a fantastic course. It's not technical. It's quite fast-paced, but I feel like this race is a really good introduction to the cross-country style races, rather than obviously it's not an enduro race, but it's a really good introduction to the cross-country style races, and I feel like the course is never too difficult, so you never really feel like you're getting completely beaten to a pulp like some of the other races. Chloe's Kingdom, for example. I should have taken the higher line. After I saw him go through so quickly, I was like, And then after this lap, I took the high line basically every lap, because you gain like 5 seconds, I'd say, going along the fast higher line. It's so much more confidence-inspiring. It's slightly off camera. Anyway, yeah, back to the quad. Everyone's preparing for the quad, and good luck to everyone. I'm not doing it this year. I might be ready to do it next year. I feel like my skills improving a bit, and I feel like maybe next year I'll give it a blast for the 70th race. I just worry about timing out constantly, and I just don't like the idea of spending so much money, because I know the ticket's only like 150 or 170 to enter, but it's like, oh cool, got to buy tyres, basically got to get loose, because why would you do such a long event with the risk of timing out through a puncture? That'd be outrageous. So you got to buy 2 new tyres just for the race, gummies, because otherwise you're just racing on rocks with perhaps inadequate traction, especially if it rains. You just, what a waste of time. Accommodation for the weekend, you know, it's not cheap. It probably adds up to like at least $1,000. So, in my mind, so that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to do something I'm not confident I'll even pass the first day. So, yeah, but maybe next year, 21st. I feel like something went wrong with it hadn't updated from the person in front. So here's some other little clips of things that were going on. Me and Andre are racing here on the 4th lap or something, I think. I think this is the 4th lap. And I feel like we're going real aggressive. Like, I'm very happy with our pace, and then I do this. That hurt. That squished my fingers. Now the brakes are like upwards, and bar busters spun round. But I go around the corner and Andre's fallen. But I'm like, well, as he's down, I have got a few seconds to push my brake back in place, because I couldn't quite reach it when it was above me. He gets by me later in the lap, and I actually catch up with Vanessa on one of the laps. I'm not sure which lap this is. It's towards the end of the race. Yeah. So I was like, well, see if I can make it faster. And I was like, yes, I can do it here. And then I almost crash again. But she lets me by. Oh my god. She's going to mock me for that. She's definitely going to mock me for that. She's mocking me for one of the other videos where I said that I couldn't even make it past her. And you're right, I can't make it past her without making mistakes. Every time I come up... if I ever manage to catch her, the couple of times I ever do it, I always fucking make a mistake or crash. And yeah, basically almost ate shit there again as well. And I'm just passing Quinn as well. It's very noticeable. Yeah, check out that water bottle. Not a bad shout. He said he could hear me, so he moved over. And he's the owner. He's the organizer of Chloe's Kingdoms. So fantastic race, but the race is tough. Anyways, yes, enough rambling. This has been an absolutely fantastic race, and I had so much fun. I overcooked it there. A little too much. That was the one and only time I went a little too hard into that corner. But yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to the Terra Nova, so better go get ready for that. Put the hybrid tires on. I think autumn might not be so great for the slipperiness. Anyways, that'll do for this week. Thank you. See ya.